VW sales are up 100% in Europe for the first quarter of 2025 over the first quarter of 2024. They've sold 150,000 new EVs, just EVs in Europe for the first quarter of 2025. That's right, this is the same VW that you read about only 3 months ago that was closing factories, forced redundancies, cutting costs, all because EV demand was slowing. Stay tuned, because the world of EVs is moving very fast. I'm Roscoe, and this is news from Amazing EV, and we were pleasantly surprised to see this news from Volkswagen. We've been long-time Volkswagen owners, and look, we bought a Tesla 2 years ago because there just wasn't a Volkswagen EV option, but we were pleasantly surprised and frankly just a little bit amazed to see this news release from Volkswagen last week. Sales update issued by Volkswagen for the first quarter of 2025 revealed a complete turnaround from all the doom and gloom scenario that was dished up at the end of 2024. Suddenly they were back on top. And the key number was the incredible surge in demand for EVs in Europe, where they sold 150 across the group compared to only 74 in the same period in 2024. And don't forget, the VW group includes brands like VW, Audi, Skoda, Cupra, Porsche. So to get to 150 EVs sold in just one quarter, the VW bestseller list looks something like this. I've had a few comments, and we appreciate all comments and any feedback. Put in the comment section below. One of those was I was talking too fast, covering too many topics, bouncing around. But hey, that's the name of the game here. This is fast-moving industry. I want to get some sharp snapshots out to you as quickly as possible, bring you as much news from the EV world as fast as possible. Hit that rewind button if you missed something, and of course, make sure you hit subscribe while you're down there. But getting back to the story, what do you think was responsible for VW's suddenly overnight recovery? Remember, this group covers Audi, Volkswagen, Cupra, Porsche, Skoda. Maybe it was new models like the EV Macan that did 14,200 in one quarter. Puts it on track for a 60,000K per annum volume. Not the 87,000 that sold in 2023, but not bad for an EV either. And then updates from the ID4 and 5, which have just arrived in Australia, have made them more VW-like. And also good numbers in Europe for the Q4 e-tron from Audi, a great compact SUV and sportback, both of which have just landed in Australia as well. And sure, Volkswagen's EV product lineup has had many refinements since the first generation of EVs. They really listen to their customers and pass those changes on, whether it be tactile buttons or any other features or details. They really listen to their customers. So perhaps that's responsible in some way.
Hi everyone. Our ID.3 was a true pioneer when it was launched 2.5 years ago. It was our first electric vehicle based on the MEB platform. And now we've made some revisions to it, and we didn't do it in the darkroom.
Hi Thomas. As you know, we receive a lot of feedback from the ID Drivers Club, our central community for all ID drivers. Today I brought to you some wishes and some feedback for the new ID.3. Please have a look.
Wir sind insgesamt sehr zufrieden damit. Mittlerweile haben wir uns auch einen ID.5 GTX gekauft und gerade im direkten Vergleich wünschen wir uns für den ID.3.
Plus, they've recently revealed some really exciting new products in Europe. Teased a couple of models that we wish are almost on the road right now. They're so good. Small cars, small Volkswagen-like cars, great designs, great EVs, cars that maybe they should have been producing 2 or 3 years ago. All these are contributing factors, I'm sure, but perhaps the major contributor is the fact that maybe Tesla's just a bit on the nose at the moment, across Europe and in Germany in particular. And there's no doubt VW have certainly been in the best position to capitalise. And don't forget, only 3 months ago, the news was covered with stories about EVs' imminent demise, factory closures, staff redundancies, cutting costs, all because EV demand was falling. And suddenly they come out with a quarter that's double the previous year. But it's not just Europe where sales were great. Things were taking off around the world. Perhaps the only exception to this is China, which is coming off a pretty low base. But VW have got a few things planned for the Shanghai Auto Show coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So stay tuned for that as well. And don't forget, we'll have a full preview of the Shanghai Auto Show coming up in a couple of weeks' time in Shanghai from the 23rd of April with our man in China, Mark Rainford from Inside China Auto. So stay tuned for that as well. Volkswagen has always had one of the highest brand loyalties here in Australia and around the world. So let's hope they recover from their EV false start and bring us soon, very soon please, some affordable, some practical, some good looking EVs into the Australian market as soon as they can. I'm Roscoe, and this is News at Amazing EV. And take a look at this quote from Marco Schubert, member of the group's extended executive committee for sales. That title alone wins the longest title for anyone in the world.
Our products are being well received and show that the Volkswagen Group is on the right track. We increased our all-electric deliveries worldwide by around 60% in the first quarter. In Europe in particular, we were able to significantly expand our leading position in this segment with a doubling of deliveries. The share of all-electric models in our total volume in Western Europe also doubled to around 19%.